Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ed Forcer 4, Speech and Oral Communication for a Teacher. So my name is Shalene Rizor Cordero, and our instructor is Mr. Claudio Azon Jr. So my topic is all about people media. So let us first discuss people media. So people media refers to the person involved in the use, analysis, evaluation, and production of media information. So people media, they are the sources of information and are responsible in disseminating those information. So people media, these are the people who are responsible in disseminating information. And people media may also be defined as the utilization of people credible in their respective fields to talk about their expertise and help the students learn from people with the first-hand experiences in a particular field or topic. So people media, they were the transmitter of information. They were the information sources before all of other media was made available. So people media, it is an assembly of people which common interest where they become the main means of mass communication. So in other words, people or media themselves, they have the ability for mass communication. Okay? So now let's move to two types of people media. So first is people in media, second is people as media. So people in media are media practitioners, which means they are media related professionals, while people as media are not, but rather media users. So media workers who are responsible for bringing you the information you need. So people in media, they are the people behind other forms of media. So they use other forms of media such as text media, multimedia, and visual media, and etc. in disseminating information and imparting knowledge. So example of this is print journalist and movie director. Okay? So people as media, they are the media itself. So the person serve as the medium for another person to learn or acquire new knowledge. So people as media, example of this is Facebook users, kita mga Facebook users man ta, the bloggers, the YouTube and the YouTubers. Okay? So there are four people as medias. First is opinion leaders, second is citizen journalism, third is social journalism, and fourth is crowdsourcing. So first is opinion leaders. Opinion leaders is highly exposed and actively using media. This means is if you are a leader, you need to a leader should be active in using media, in using social media, because source of viable interpretation of message for lower and media users. So your leaders will be the source of information because he or she is responsible for disseminating the information that your teachers will give you, or and he will be the one to inform you. So opinions are accepted by a group. So if you're a leader, you need to accept the opinions for your other members. Okay, you need to understand and accept their opinions. Okay, so citizen journalism. So these are people without professional journalism training can use the tools of modern technology and internet to create, augment, or fact check media on their own or in collaboration with others. So citizen journalism, these are the ordinary citizens. Like you became people media in your rights because you perform the same functions professional journalists do. Okay, so let's move to social journalism. So social journalism is a media model consisting of hybrid professional journalism, contributor, and a reader content. Social journalism takes place on some open publishing platforms like Twitter and WordPress.com, but also involve professional journalists who created or screened the content. So social journalists are using social media to make their content available to more people. Okay? So let's move to crowdsourcing. So crowdsourcing is the collection of information, opinions, or work from a group of people, usually sourced via the internet. So crowdsourcing is like an open forum, like it's like collecting information from your groups and then collecting information via internet. Okay, so crowdsourcing is a sourcing model which individual or organization obtain goods or series, including ideas, voting, and microtasks and finances from a large, relatively open, and often rapidly evolving group of participants. So there are uses of crowdsourcing. So there are 5 uses of crowdsourcing. First is to promote innovative. Second is encourage interconnectedness in idea sharing. Third is motive concretion. Fourth is encourage participation from consumers or ordinary citizens. And lastly, promote more efficient and productive way of sharing of information. So that's it of people as media. So now let's proceed to history of the Philippine media and emerging careers. So traditional media has affected Filipino in the past. So traditional media has affected Filipino in the past. So during the Spanish era, knowledge was passed on through folk media and indigenous forms of media. So their careers is town crier, messenger, community scribe. So during the Spanish era, while education was limited to light publication of book like the Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, and the newspaper is the La Solidaridad, advanced the propaganda movement which led to the People Revolution against Spanish rule. Okay? So now let's proceed to American Japanese era. So during this era, major newspaper is the Manila Times and the Manila Bulletin. Radio broadcasting and movie became available. So this time, nagawas ang mga radio broadcasting and movies. So media was used for propaganda by government and other groups. So their careers is book writers, newspaper writer, editor, publisher, copywriter, artist, cartoonist, reporter, producer, and broadcaster. So during the post-war era, the golden age of the Philippine journalism, advertising, communication, education, press freedom flourished in this era. So their career is book writers, newspaper writers, editor, publisher, copywriter, artist, cartoonist, reporter, producer, media technicians, and advertisers. So during the Spanish, wala pa kayo mga newspapers. So during the post-war era, nigawas na ang mga book writers, newspaper, editors, and copywriters. So nagka-evolve ilahang media ang ginagamit. So during the martial law era, this is the Marcoses times. Highlights of this era include the government takeover of media and the press, the image of engineering of the Marcoses in the name of nationalism. So during the post-EDSA era, people power brought greater freedom for the Philippines. So during this time, nanay freedom ang Philippine media. During this era, the new constitution recognized the vital role of communication and information in nation building. Press freedom influenced the growth in media careers. So during the post-EDSA era, this is the time that the Philippines is already free, because during the Marcos time or the martial law, Marcos only limits of how many broadcast station ang iyang ipa-open. So right now, during the modern era, a lot of media careers have been open in the Philippines. So this is our careers of modern era is a web designer, online instructors, digital producers, blogger, animators, programmer, and archivist, metadata analyst, data miner, user experience designer, call center agents, and virtual assistants. So in a brief history, during the Spanish colonization, wala pa sila yung mga newspapers, wala pa yung mga book. So they only use to write their announcement if ever they will have an announcement. So naka-evolve man ilahang generation, naka-evolve ilahang media. So that's why there is already a newspaper, a book, a writer, editor, a publisher, a copywriter, a cartoonist, a reporter, and a producer, media technicians, and advertisers. That's why sa una, ilang ginagamit is only leaves for disseminating information, or three sila musulat sila sa kahoy for disseminating information. And right now, we have a lot of media to use for disseminating information. So that's it. So now let's move to social media. So social media are interactive technologies that allow the creation or sharing, exchange of information, ideas, and interests, and other forms of expressions via virtual communities and networks. So people use social media to stay in touch and within friends, family, and various communities. So for example, business use social media to market and promote their products and track customer concerns. So for example, in business, so social media is used to market product, promote brands, connect to customers, and foster new business. As a communication platforms, social media promote customer feedback and make it easy for customers to share their experiences with a company. So business can respond quickly to positive and negative feedback, addresses customers' problem, and maintain or rebuild customer confidence. So an example of social media is LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, and Wikipedia. Okay, so let's move to what are the different types of media. So first is social network. Social network is people use this network to connect with one another and share information, thoughts, and idea. So the focus of this network is the focus of this network is usually on the other users. User profile helps participants identify the other users with common interests or concerns. So Facebook and LinkedIn are good examples of social networks. So media sharing network is media sharing network. This network focus on content. For example, on YouTube, interaction is around videos that users create. Other media sharing networks are TikTok and Instagrams. Okay, so now let's proceed to community-based network. Focus in-depth discussion, much like blog forum. So the focus of this type of social network is in-depth discussion, much like blog forum. Users leave prompts for discussion that spiral into detailed comments threads. So Reddit is an example of community-based network. So lastly is review board network. So focus in a with these networks, the focus is on review, usually of product, service, or for example, on Yelp, users can write reviews on restaurants and endorse each other's reviews to boost visibility. Okay, so there are characteristics of social media. First is individualized build profiles, includes personal details, pictures, and likes. And likes. So just for for example, in Facebook, your Facebooks have a personal details about yourself. So connects with friends and people. So Instagram, using the Instagrams and Facebook Messenger, you can connect with your friends and family members, include referral by other friends or by the sites itself. Okay, so upload contents in a real time. So of course, when we have a good time together with our friends, we upload contents in a real time. Okay, so enable conversation, both private and public. So in Facebook, you can private the conversations or you can also public the conversation. Okay, so provides tracking history and threads. So that is very understandable because in using Facebook there is a history. Okay, so that's it for my report. Thank you so much everyone for listening, and this is my references. Thank you.